So about 2.5 years ago, we found a glitch, the community found a glitch, that allows you to duplicate the Shiva materia. It didn't affect the speedrun or like do anything crazy, but it allowed you to get multiple Shiva materia in a playthrough. And we found it during that like renaissance when we figured out about the text overlay glitch, where you get one text box to pop up and you do an action at the same time, and then you get another text box to pop up, and because the game has to cancel the first one and bring up the second one, it goes over the line of code that disables Cloud's movement. So you can move, and then you can just leave and come back and do it again, and you can get infinite Shiva materia. That was 2.5 years ago, and just a few days ago, I get an email about a potential Ifrit materia duplication. Sure enough, I pop in and it works on every version of the game. And it's so crazy to me that like it's Shiva's counterpart, Ifrit. You know, we figured out how to duplicate Shiva. We're like, this isn't going to work for any other summon. Turns out it does, and turns out it just happens to be Ifrit. So I think that's like awesome. This was found by Bruce Brother 401. He emailed me when he found it, and he also uploaded his own video on his channel, so I'm going to link that down below. Be sure to check that out. But he just emailed this to me and said I was playing through and found it. And of course it's here on the ship, so it's super duper simple and easy to do. And you get infinite amount of time and tries, so you can easily try this in your playthrough. But unlike the Shiva duplication, there's a little extra to go along with this, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So first of all, we're gonna fight Jenova, and I juiced up my party a bit here so this fight goes quicker because this is a really long fight. And yeah, just it still blows my mind that it's, of all summons, Ifrit too. That's like so awesome to me. And so awesome to me that this works, because it's very similar to the other text glitches that we were jumping around and trying everywhere, but we just never found this one. So we're gonna defeat Jenova like normal, and then Cloud's gonna talk for a second, and then you're supposed to grab Ifrit and then walk out, and then the cutscene starts where you go to Costa del Sol. We're just picking that because it's less text. Alright, so we're gonna pick up Ifrit. And then we're going to go over to this guy, and sure enough, when you talk to this dead body, it says ... And there's also a ladder here that you can climb. And so if you saw the Shiva duplication glitch, you probably know where this is headed. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to talk to this guy and climb the ladder at the same time. And the way that I do it is I just walk up to the ladder, and then I just hold up. And about right here, I start talking, and if it doesn't work, just walk back and try again. And it's pretty precise, but again, you have an infinite amount of time to do it. So what you want to happen is you want Cloud to grab the ladder, and you want the text box to pop up at the same time. So now that this has happened, all we need to do is we need to walk over to the exit, and that's going to activate this text box. And like I said before, when you already have a text box open and another text box comes up, when you cancel this first text box, it's going to give Cloud his movement back. So now if we cancel these text boxes out, Cloud's going to walk out and we're going to go to Costa del Sol. But if we leave the room on our own, we're now back out here. And that's it. That's all you have to do. We've now essentially skipped going to Costa del Sol, and now that room is back to its prior spot where Sephiroth is still here and we're about to fight Jenova. So at this point, you can go save, you can go back to the guy and get the energy drink and heal up. whatever you want to do. You could even, go save and close the game and come back. And now when we go in here, Jenova will be back. And so, as you can probably tell, the other cool thing about this is we get to fight Jenova an infinite amount of times. Which is actually pretty cool. I talked about the Shiva duplication glitch. In the video, I talked about how it's not really very useful, because having 2 Shiva materias isn't really that great. You can summon Shiva twice. You can give it to 2 different party members and summon Shiva twice in one battle really early, which is kind of nice. Or you can put them both on one character and they get to summon Shiva twice. But other than that, doesn't do much. You can't sell it. The buffs you get from these first couple summons aren't really that great. But here, not only are we getting 2 Ifrits, but we're also getting to fight Jenova twice. So what that means is we get the experience, pretty big experience buff that Jenova Birth gives. We get the money that she drops, and we also get an extra white cape. Which the white cape isn't super duper useful. It's protection against Frog and Mini. Kind of nice for like Gungaga if you want to stack 3 of these so that in Gungaga you don't get destroyed by the frogs. But more importantly, it sells for 2,500. So you could grind a ton of gil here. Very early. You could probably do this 3 or 4 times and then go to Costa del Sol and get like a full stack of Molotovs. Which is the only thing that I would say could be like anywhere potentially useful for challenge runs or like even the speed run. But the Jenova fight takes too long for it to be like anything in the speed run. But for like a challenge run or something, getting all that extra money, or just your own casual playthrough, being able to go to Costa del Sol with a ton of cash, would be really useful. So, and again, you can do this an infinite amount of times. So just do it again. There it is. Forgot to pick up the materia. Alright, didn't make it out. That's fine. But yeah, obviously grab the materia every time. I know I'm going to get questions about this. What about the chest up top? The chest up top has Yuffie's Wind Slash. You cannot duplicate the chest. The chests work on a global variable. Once you pick them up, they're gone. There are some chests that you can duplicate, but that's because when you open up the chest, you keep your movement and you leave before you cancel the text box. But there's no way to do that here because you have to go back down the ladder, which causes you to cancel the text box anyways. So yeah, no way to duplicate that chest and Yuffie's Wind Slash. But yeah, a great grind spot for early and multiple Ifrit materials. I'm going to let this play out for a second so I can show the materia. There you go. And of course, you can keep doing it. You can get 20 Ifrit materia if you want. And we also have the 2 white capes, which you can continue to do over and over again and get a bunch of white capes. And like I said, you can sell white capes for 2,500, which is a lot early because it's an accessory. So that's probably honestly the biggest bucket, is just getting a couple extra white capes and selling them and then having a ton of money early. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just like completely blown away that of all the things, it's Ifrit duplication right after Shiva duplicate. Well, not right after, 2.5 years after Shiva, we find out a way to duplicate Ifrit. And yeah, thanks to Bruce, brother, for finding this and for sending it to me.